For more on Wang Yi's visit, we go now to Einar Tangen in Beijing. He's a senior fellow at the Taihe Institute and the founder of the Asia Narratives Substack. Good to see you, Einar. Now, China's foreign minister told counterparts at BRICS that Beijing's standing up to the US in the face of trade pressure is in, quote, the common interest in all countries. What does he mean by that?
Well, I mean, unilateralism versus multilateralism, Sally. I mean, Paulo put it very, very clearly. This is seen as the U.S. trying to gather countries under duress, saying that the sanctions and the tariffs that I put on you, I will let up a little bit if you just cooperate against our enemy, which is China. And this is very, very disquieting. So China is fighting back. They're saying, look, you know, what kind of world do you want? One run by the U.S. or one run by the world?
So are you saying that Trump's trade wars are bringing China's trade circle of allies closer together?
Absolutely. I mean, if, you know, imagine you're on the playground and you're the bully and you go around to people and say, I won't beat you up very badly if you do exactly what I say. Give me your lunch money, and then I want you to help gang up on this other guy because I think he might try to challenge me. I mean, this is not what you expect of international relations. China's doing what it can, the only thing it can do, which is appeal to countries' rationality. You do not want a situation where the U.S. can unilaterally coerce you into doing what it wants for its interests against your own.
So what kind of cooperation is China seeking to give fresh impetus and efforts for greater global governance?
Well, it's simply cooperation and coordination. They're talking about, you know, having the kind of international framework of organizations and laws that allow all countries to compete on an equal footing. Not something where it's, you know, law of the jungle. I'm bigger than you are. You have to acquiesce to whatever it is I want. This is really for the soul of the future. Unless somebody stands up to Donald Trump and says, look, and we're calling your bluff, you cannot possibly impose your will on the rest of the world, yeah, you could have it. You could have a very, very difficult world, and I mean a dystopian one, where whoever is president of the United States dictates what's going to happen.
The White House's hardline approach on China could create a more consolidated footing for Beijing's ties with Latin America in general, but the region has very complex political dynamics, especially, you know, in terms of those countries that have more right-wing populist leaders that align themselves with Donald Trump. How might China build more kudos and credibility amongst those particular nations?
Well, it comes down to simple survival. I mean, regardless of who's in charge of your country, you do not want to be dependent on another country or their policies made in their capital, you know, for yours. Yeah, there are differences of opinion, but the common welfare of your people is the #1 concern of all leaders. The question is, how do they get there? So China is simply putting forward the obvious, you know, idea that everybody has to cooperate against somebody who's trying to impose their will. And Sally, I mean, it's that simple. You can't have a situation where, you know, Donald Trump can, you know, literally force you by saying, well, I'm going to beat you up unless you do this stuff. That is not a world where cooperation reigns. And quite frankly, it is going to destroy the global situation of which South American countries have really benefited. If you look over the last 10 years, what the Belt and Road has done for South America, for creating ports, bridges, all the infrastructure necessary for them to start really kind of coming up in the world, I think long term, there's only one conclusion, and that is being independent, cooperating, being multilateral is the only solution.
All right. Einar Tangen, thank you very much for your time.